and welcome to Makeup Mayhem Day 3. If you're unfamiliar with what Makeup Mayhem is, basically every other day in May, every odd day, I'll be posting a new video. Now, I talked about this in my previous video, Makeup Mayhem Day 2, but basically I'm going to try to stay on schedule as much as possible. This is the first time I've posted this many videos on my channel in 1 month, so please bear with me, be kind, be patient. The videos will come. If they're a little late one day, I apologize, I'm working on it, but it's just me getting used to this new schedule for the month. So today I thought it'd be fun to do a nail art tutorial. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed some of my nail art on there. A lot of the nail art designs look really intense, look very difficult, and also pretty delicate. And I'm gonna give you a big secret. I don't sit there for hours doing little intricate nail art designs on my fingernails. It's all a big ruse. Instead, what I do is I use a really easy tool called nail image plates or nail stamping. And that is what really helps me get beautiful designs on my nail that don't take very long but look like I spent hours on them. It's kind of funny because some of my friends lovingly call me the nail art girl, and they think that I'm like really into nail art and I spent all this time, but it is all the stamps. So let's go ahead and get into some of the materials you'll need. So the materials you'll need for today's tutorial include a base coat to protect your nails. You'll also need a background color. I'm going to use Dove by Zoya. It's a nice gray color. I really like it. You'll also need a top coat to protect your nail art and to avoid chipping. You will need a nail stamping plate. Today I'm using Konad M60, but I also really like the Bundle Monster plates. They're a great deal and they have pretty good quality. You'll need a nail stamping polish. I'm going to be using Konad Black Special Polish, and I really do recommend using an actual polish that's meant for nail stamping because you'll be a lot more successful. You need to have a really thick polish for the nail art to work. You'll also want to make sure to have a nail stamper. I do recommend using the Konad. I've tried a couple other stampers and they just don't work quite as well. You'll need a nail scraper or a plastic card. I actually prefer the plastic card, so it doesn't look too professional, but in my opinion, it works much, much better than the nail scraper. For some reason, I can never get that darn nail scraper to work. You will also want to make sure that you have nail polish remover on hand. I really like this pump top one from CVS just because it's a little easier to use when you're doing nail art, but really any nail polish remover will work. You'll need this to clean your plates and also to clean up around your nail. You'll want cotton pads while you're doing this tutorial. I find they work a little better than cotton balls in this situation. You'll also want some Scotch tape, or you could use Q-tips. It just depends what method you want to use to remove any nail art from your skin. Those are all the materials you'll need. I know it's a lot, but let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Before you actually start the tutorial, make sure to start with a base coat to protect your natural nail. You also want to apply a background color. I just went ahead and did those steps before the tutorial. So the first step in the actual tutorial is to take your stamping plate. I'm going to use this flower design, this full nail flower design. I highly recommend beginners start with a full nail image instead of just a little tiny piece of nail art. So next you're going to apply the stamping polish to your plate. During the next few steps, you're going to need to work somewhat quickly so that the polish doesn't dry. So you're going to go ahead and scrape the excess polish off the image plate with your nail scraper or your plastic card. Next, take your nail stamper, roll gently over the image, and now you should have the design on your nail stamper. After you have that, check it, make sure it looks good because that's going to be what transfers onto your nail. Next, you're going to roll the stamp again gently onto your nail. I actually picked this clip on purpose because the nail stamp applied mostly fine, but there are just a couple little places that I'm patting down because they're sticking up, and that happens sometimes. It's just nice to know that your nail isn't completely ruined, you just need to pat down those little areas. Then you're just going to remove any excess design that's transferred onto your skin by using a little bit of Scotch tape, or you could use a Q-tip and some nail polish remover. I just tend to prefer the Scotch tape. I wish this was just a little bit more in frame, but all you have to do is stick it to the places you don't want to show. After that, you just have to carefully apply top coat. This is where you can actually smudge your nail art, so be very careful. Don't drag it across the nail. Just glide it across really quickly and try not to go back and forth over the same area, because that's when it starts to snag the nail image. So here's the final look. If you don't have the patience for nail art, like me, and if you don't have a steady hand to draw, like me, all those little tiny nail designs, this is a really great alternative. Well, that about wraps it up for today. If you want to connect with me outside of YouTube, I will go ahead and link my Instagram, blog, and Twitter in the description below. Other than that, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.